लश्कर सिद्क़ो वफ़ा का पेकर नानात भी.
You know, I'm quite blunt. Sometimes I'm very blunt. So I just have to be careful where I'm speaking, because sometimes the local custom might be a bit more gentle. So I open today just about 30%, 40%.
I think we need
so,
that though.
Yeah, we do. So I just wanted to ask the local brothers, you know, is it okay if I open up a bit more? Because I think these are elephant in the rooms, like pornography is a big issue. Drugs is a big issue. People not getting married is a big issue. You know, zina, these are big issues. They are vices of this society, and until we don't address them, obviously we have to address them with in an academic and you know, in an amicable way, in a way which is conducive. But they have to be addressed. Unfortunately, in many places where I've visited, people don't want to talk about these things, and this is sad. If our children are not going to, they can't speak to the imam about this. If they can't speak to the parents about this, where are they going to go? They're going to go to the internet. We have to give alternative halal. And there is, we believe that in Islam, for everything there's an alternative halal. Yes? And yeah. Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Yes, brother. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Like, you know, inshallah, you know, we all become parents and stuff.
Yeah, inshallah.
With when it comes to raising children, smartphones and social media, at what age would, it's a bit of a difficult question, but with social media, when would you say that?
I say it's haram giving your child a smartphone.
Full stop,
Yeah, not from a fatwa haram, just prohibited haram. I'm not fatwa. I have to quickly put that clause. Now, I don't believe for a second that your 14, 15 years old youngster who's got unlimited access to everything and they're not going to fall into sin. I'm not doing su'izan. I'm not doing su'izan, but it's not, I mean, we're not, even elders are suffering now. People that are married, like I told you, running off. They got 5 children running off. These are cases that's happening. I've had this, I don't know, maybe in Bali, Muslims are here quite good. But you know, because I moved to Ellsbury South, and we hear these cases all the time. And it's because of the phone. I personally, my personal view, I don't have a personal view, but what I've heard from people, I think, unless you are not disciplined, I think that comes with maturity, it comes with marriage, it becomes a responsibility. I think keeping a smartphone is not only futile, it's detrimental to your iman.
So with the children, because I agree fully, but how do you do it in a way where they don't feel they're being oppressed or robbed? And
yeah, I know it's a difficult one.
They rebel and go into
we have to give alternatives. Look, when more sport activities, more physical activities. The thing is, parents are not taking part in themselves, because a lot of the parents now, you know, the smartphone and the iPad is a dummy. It's like, you know what, just take that and don't do my head in. Mera sar mat kha, just watch what you need to watch. This is the truth. It might be bitter, sorry, I do apologize, but this is the honest truth. We don't want to give time, because we don't have time. Mother is working, father is working 9 to 5, the child is growing up like weed, no direction, and then we are shocked when they're 16, 17, and they have their own vision of the dunya. Because we haven't given them that time. The days have gone, yes, where you could grow up in the 80s and 90s, your father work all day, come back, because they was just playing football, cricket, that's all it was. Those days have gone now. Your own child, in your home, under your roof, he can be developing ideas that are contradictory to his iman in your own roof, but you won't know. So of course you need to go alternatives. I would suggest, I mean, I've spoken to quite a few ulama, maybe give them targets, like look, give them targets that these are things you need to do, and your reward is that you can use a game, for example, on the weekend, 1 hour, 2 hours supervised. So it's something they look forward to and they work for, opposed to they have unlimited access. Because when you have unlimited access to something, it becomes normal then. It's not rewarding anymore, it's just natural and it's standard. Yes, and also I think physical activity, because I've seen, you know, physical exercise is strongly related with your mind and strongly related with addictions. So physical, maybe getting them into football, cricket, whatever, boxing, get them physically engaged, then inshallah they won't have time to go to these wrong things. Hopefully, inshallah. Let me take one more question.
You mentioned Aqidah. Is there anything that you'd recommend in terms of reading or studying, in terms of just the basics for a normal person?
You know, I mean, basics is, yeah, when you study Maktab al-Imaniyat, the 6 articles of faith, that's enough. And what you hear in Jamaat, that's more than enough. If you have maybe a question on a certain objection, then I can recommend you. But there's no point there. There's no point there, is there? And Imam Ghazali rahmatullah alayhi says in his Iljam al-Awam and Ilm al-Kalam, in his final book that he authored 3 days before he passed away, in Iljam al-Awam, he says a theologian, when they addressing an issue of Aqidah, you only address the issue if there's a problem. If there's no problem, kha suggesting it, because then it's like medicine. You only get prescribed medicine if you have an illness. So if you have no issue, you, alhamdulillah, you're content with the 6 articles of faith. I mentioned Hadith Jibra'il, Amantu billahi wa malaikati wa kutubi wa rasuli wa akhirih, and mashallah, Jamaat work and your ta'aleem. This is, alhamdulillah, you don't have any shubha, you don't have any question or objection, alhamdulillah. You don't need to study any book then. If you're going through university, evolution and all, atheism, then maybe we can recommend, but that's not the case, alhamdulillah. Yes. Yes, brother. Huh? I've never seen TikTok. I've heard of it. I heard it's quite volatile in the sense that all sorts of things come up there. Like a person can, 1 minute can be watching a bayan, the next minute a woman half naked can come up. It's quite volatile in that sense. So that's probably the reason it's not allowed. Have you heard any scholars saying it's not allowed? Yeah, then that's fine, I agree with it. Yeah. Yes, brother.
What would you advise a masjid to do to bring the youth in? So, talk about parents.
Youth project, huh? I don't know, brother. What I found effective. I mean, Jamaat, alhamdulillah, youth programs. Just connecting with them. A lot of youngsters. I sat with them once here. I said, why do you guys don't come to the masjid? Or you want to come but you don't come, why? I just wanted, sometimes we judge people based on our own understanding, and sometimes you need to judge people based on their understanding. What's their understanding? So one of them said to me, Maulana, we feel like we're judged in the sense that because we don't have a proper beard, or we might not be dressed in a certain way. If I go to the masjid, the old guys look at us like this, and because of that, we need to be more approachable, I think. What the Prophet ﷺ said, La khayra fi man la ya'laf wa la yu'laf. There is no goodness in that person who is not approachable, he's not friendly, and he can't approach others. I think being approachable, where a person can come up to you, he has enough confidence, he can come up to you and he can say whatever he wants without feeling judged. I think this is the most important prophetic character that we need for any da'i. Today, a lot of the people, sometimes they can't approach because of our physical appearance. I mean, in Bradford once, just to quickly conclude in this, there was adhan going on Maghrib Salah, right? And Maghrib Salah, just before Maghrib, this adhan is going on, this large congregation. So one of the youngsters came in with like a funky hairstyle, one of those like, I don't know what it's called, one of those styles, yeah? So in front of everyone, this particular man, he rebuked him. So, you come to the masjid like this, to the house of Allah like this. That guy didn't come to the masjid again. He never came to the masjid again. So I think more than activities or programs, which is good, alhamdulillah, programs are a means, Jamaat is a means, alhamdulillah, these are all things. But I think more on a person level is being able to relate to them and dropping that guard where they are able to open up to us. Because they say in Jamaat, dil do fir dil lo. Yes, once you've got that connection and they love you, you've got that muhabbat for them, they'll do anything for you. They'll come to the masjid if you ask them. They'll run a mile for you if you ask them. Once you've got that connection. So I think building that connection is very important. Sitting with them, speaking to them, asking them how they are. Prophet ﷺ would give salam to everyone. He would give salam to the Sibyan. Nowadays we want people to give salam to me. I'm Shaykh Yasir, you give me salam, I'm going to give you salam. No, we need to give salam to everyone. Approaching them, asking them how they are. It's against the ego. It hurts the ego, let's be honest. Yeah, nobody wants to go to someone and give salam. Even I don't half of the time. But that's how we can inshallah connect. جزاكم الله خيرا.
الشكر صدقا وفاك بكر علماء